Y'all are this afternoon. This is your buddy George Jones over at the Bergen Gun Range, as usual, with my next installment on. Man, they send me a lot of emails and they send me a lot of comments about a 22 long rifle handgun as a personal defense weapon. Would you use a 22 long rifle as a personal defense weapon? Well, many instructors will tell you that in a personal defense situation, the best gun you've got is the one you got. Okay? Would you choose a 22? If you were going to go spend the money, would you go and spend the money on a 22 automatic pistol or a 22 caliber revolver? Well, there's a lot of things to consider there. Are you physically capable of managing the recoil and the strong springs operation of a more mainstream firearm, say a 9mm automatic or a 357 revolver or a 40 or a 45 automatic, or a 2-inch 38 caliber revolver? Are you physically capable of managing that? And if you are, you'd probably want to pick a larger caliber gun than 22 in the same package. If you're not, then a 22 would probably be a good serviceable firearm for you. First of all, no one's looking forward to getting shot 4 or 5 times with a 22. You'd have to be a pretty hardcore, drugged up, wigged out individual, faced with a firearm to continue your assault even if it was a 22. Because, man, they hurt. Bullets hurt. Bullets hurt, and they do a lot of damage regardless. So, operating from the view that no one's looking forward to getting shot 5 times with a 10-shot 22 automatic, what would you choose? And I get a lot of comments about this little red aphid right there. I get a lot of comments about this gun, and I get a lot of questions about it. And I've done a video on this gun previously, and a comparison video between it and the Walther PPKS 22. And I chose this. The Versa Thunder is a good, solid design. And as far as I know, the Versa company, this is the only gun they make. Then in 22 and 380. Different configurations, different colors, two-tone guns, brush chrome, blue, black. You can even get them in colors now. But basically, they only make this gun. So if they're only making this gun, chances are they're working pretty hard on just getting this gun right. So, it's a good gun. Of all of the 22 automatics that I would carry, and I carry 22 automatic in certain situations. Most of the time you see me out in public, I've got this. Okay? Occasionally you'll see me with a full house 357 or a full blast 1911 45 when I'm carrying a gun because I'm going to the range or I'm going coyote hunting or something like that. I carry a bigger gun. But for the most part, I'm carrying one of 2 guns. I'm either carrying that 38 Special revolver, or I'm carrying a little Versa Thunder in my back pocket. So, will it produce enough trauma to stop an assailant? My experience has been when people get shot, it's the noise that overcomes them before the wound does. What's it called? Violence of action. That incredibly loud noise is the first effect on your assailant that using a gun has. And then the realization that you've been shot or wounded is the next one. But when you consider violence of action as a use of force as opposed to, having to shoot someone, it has a pretty good effect. And these guys are loud, they're loud, especially indoors. There ain't much difference between the way a 9mm sounds indoors and the way a 22 sounds indoors. I've watched a lot of store and security camera footage, and when the shooting breaks out, it's kind of comical. I mean, people are jumping around like gazelles, and running through doors that are closed, and running in and trying to hide places, The average assailant with a gun, or any weapon for that matter, thinks he's in complete control until that first shot breaks. And then very seldom do they ever even have the wherewithal to return fire. You let that first one go and things really start happening. There's a lot of shooting breakdowns on YouTube. There's a lot of security camera footage on YouTube of shooting incidents and so forth, donut operator, Viper defense, and things like that. And you go on there and watch them. And, the good guy's got a 22. And the bad guys are jumping around like worms on a hot skillet. So, would you carry a 22 based on that? You have to make your own decision there. All I can really advise you is, be good with what you have. Okay? If you can carry a bigger gun, carry a bigger gun. Okay? If you're physically not capable of carrying 45 automatic, or a big 45 XD or 10 millimeter or something like that, because the recoil parameters are too great for you, the ergonomics of the firearm in general are too much for you, grip frame is too large, or grip frame is too small. You don't have the physical strength necessary to get the thing up here and get it working. Okay? 22 may be your decision. And I personally think of all of the defensive handguns, or all of this style of gun, pocket size, manageable carry size, 22 automatic pistols there are, probably the Bersa Thunder 22 would be the one to shoot. And it shoots good. That's the thing. Well, the purpose of firearms content is to show a firearm being used. It shoots good. There's 10-inch round disc down there at 25 yards, and it's moving. And a 4x7 square plate, and it's moving. And a patched up dirty bird target at 7 yards. Oops, got a malfunction. This is Precision, the cheapest 22 ammo on the market. Let's go and look at what we're talking about. So, 7 yards, CCDW training range. And it's just riddled with about 14 bullet holes. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, you know, shoots good. Had a little hiccup fire. But then again, I'm shooting the cheapest ammunition that's imported into the country. So all in all, it's more of a physical thing than it is a ballistic or tactical thing. It's simply, if a 22 automatic is what you can physically manage with your hands and your strength, Versa Thunder is the one to have. I think, my opinion. You know, there's a little Walther 22 automatic pistol out there that's pretty easy to work. I don't particularly care for it. The ergonomics aren't right for me. I got a pretty good sized paw. Ruger makes a copy of it, you know, a version of the Walther Ruger makes. But my opinion, that's my opinion. That's the one to have, the Versa Thunder 22. Well, that's about the size of it. I hope this gets everybody satisfied. And I receive, you know, my email is esquad540@gmail, and everybody knows it, you know, and they'll send me personal emails and ask me questions about videos and guns that I've made. And over the past 3 or 4 months since posting this video, of the last video of this gun, I've had about 200 comments, emails, and so forth concerning using a 22 as a defensive gun, what defensive gun should I use if I'm shooting a 22, and so forth. So this is to address that. All right then. You know, when I started this thing 6 years ago, I never thought that there would be anybody in the country but it would give one little hoot and holler about anything I had to say about anything, and now I seem to have somewhat of a following. And I really appreciate it. I really do. Well, all right then. Like, take, share, commentate, and subscribe. Leave me no $1 in the Patreon bucket if you want to, and if you don't, I'll keep right on making content for you. You know, you got to carry it every day. You know, you got to have one you can carry with you every day. And you got to carry it every day, and you've got to go to the range, and you got to shoot it. Okay? You got to dope the ammo that works good in your gun, and you've got to get competent with it. You probably need to get a CCDW license in your state, or, you know, however you do it. A lot of states, and I'm gotten off track here, but a lot of states are introducing constitutional carry. This is a rule that they have, that if you're lawfully authorized to own the firearm, you can carry the firearm, you know, without a license, concealed or unconcealed, however you choose. I don't know about carrying it in glove boxes under the seat of the car and stuff like that. I don't know. If you've got a gun, it needs to be on your body. Okay? That's another thing. You need to have a gun that's of a size that you can carry on your body. Long gun? Absolutely not. Long gun? Absolutely not. I wouldn't go out in the general public carrying a long gun. You know, I just would not do it. A 10-inch with an arm brace on it? Absolutely not. You don't see me in public packing my Uzi around. Okay? I just, because you have an obligation as a good, righteous, upstanding citizen not to frighten the other people in public. There's a lot of non-gun people out there. They're not against you because you're carrying a gun, okay? But there's some timid people out there that are frightened when they see someone in public with a firearm, you know. So we have an obligation to them too. We have an obligation to ourselves, okay, and to the people around us to be able to present a defense, you know, in the face of a threat. But we also have an obligation to the general public at large not to frighten them or upset them. You know, a lot of people are upset just by the appearance of me. I'm a rough-looking old hillbilly. I'm liable to be carrying a sheath knife on my belt and a gun open carry. You know, locally they've gotten kind of used to me and my old raggedy hunting coats and pistols on my hip. You know, they've gotten kind of used to me. But you know, I don't care to go to Lexington and walk around with a pistol on my hip. You know, because there's people in Lexington that ain't like people in Mercer County. You know, so, you know, you go rolling out at a Starbucks or a Chuck E. Cheese, you know, with a 10-inch AR, you know, and a beta drum on it, people are going to be upset by the sight of that, you know, and you've created a scene. Maybe they're calling the cops, or maybe they're running away, you know, grabbing children and making a run for the parking lot. No, that's no good. That's no good. Carry a defensive handgun. Carry concealed when it's convenient to do so. You know, don't carry a .44 Magnum around in public. Don't strap on a gun belt with a 7-inch SA Colt on it. You know, don't frighten the public. Even though, as a concealed carrier or a constitutional carrier, you have an obligation to protect them as well. So, you know, all right then, be of good cheer, be a good citizen, make good decisions, be careful what you do. And we'll all get through this together. I'm pulling for you. All right, we'll see y'all.